That was a while ago.
I know, right?
Oh, do you want this next to you?
Yeah, probably.
Every time it shocks me.
I get shocked like all the time in general in this office.
Every time I go to my door, I'm like,
Oh my God, yes.
electrocution time.
Or like when I go out the side door, when I make a round,
Yeah.
I'm like, ow! It's always so obnoxiously loud. Okay.
Thank you for coming in person.
No problem. All right, let's see.
Look at our whiteboard. That's wins and challenges of this week. Look at how many more wins there are than challenges. Just saying.
I'm a fan.
And Remine is on there.
I did the MLS class.
Oh, did ya?
Mhm.
So back when Remine was not free, well, not the current version of Remine was not free.
I paid for it.
Did you?
Yes. For
I did not.
months, $26 a month. And I was like, what am I paying for?
I refused to because I saw like the quality and stuff. I'm like, no, I don't need this.
Can we do a touch base again in regards to what all that is?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, I'm just getting logged in. Oh, I'm like, what's this?
Did you know?
Septic system.
Oh, gross.
All right. Hi, guys.
Hi. Hi. Hi.
My brain hurts. I learned I do not ever want to be an MCA. Ever.
How many checks have you written today?
I'm getting better. I'm at like 15 minutes per check.
Ooh, you cut
No,
your time
not
in
even.
half.
I'm like at 10 minutes.
What?
Because I just did 2 and stared at 1 for like 25 minutes. I'm like, yep, this one, don't know.
Oh my God.
It was an incoming referral. I'm like, I don't know how to find incoming referrals. So that's gonna wait till Taylor gets
That's
back.
fine.
He needs those anyways. That's fine. It wasn't that big of a referral, so. All right, let me share the screen so you guys can actually see what the heck I'm talking about. How's it going, Zoomy people? All right, so this month's training topic was lead generation. So I chose to talk about Remine as part of that because farming, a geofarm, all that fun stuff is a form of lead generation. So I want you guys to have more tools at your disposal. That's not just command. So what you're going to do is log into Northstar MLS, whether it's Matrix MLS, Flex MLS, or Paragon. Yes, we have 3 versions of the MLS available to us. Although I think Paragon now, if you didn't choose to keep that, is now a paid one where Flex is still available for trial. So I use the good old faithful Matrix because I can't learn anything new. I tried it. I'm like, no, this is business related. I'm not learning new stuff. So how you access Remine is either here on the front page under external links or under tools, and simply go to Remine. Sure, you can know my location, that's fine. Zoom, can you hear me? You guys have been quiet.
Yes, I can hear you. Thank you.
Perfect, thank you. So Remine is sort of, what I call it is the poor agent's public data search database, for lack of a better explanation. There's companies like Coal Resources that charges a lot of money for a lot of the similar information. I'm cheap. I don't like spending money if I don't have to. So I don't. I will be fully transparent. I use Remine. I use it for a lot of, I've used Remine for like when we had a buyer looking for, they found a house that they really liked in a specific neighborhood. So we actually did Remine and did door knocking and a quick mailer to that neighborhood because we had lost out on the multiple. So we wanted to see if we could find someone looking to sell in that neighborhood. We use it for our neighborhood. So we have the most up-to-date owner information. So when we do school supplies drive or food donation drive or whatever, speaking of donation drives, I will be doing a class on how to use some of the technology to do that. I know I do not use Remine to its fullest capacity. There are a bunch of videos and stuff through North Star MLS that does teach a lot more, but I'm going to get you at least so you are dangerous enough to use it on your own. This is the dashboard. Any changes? So this is, I've been following, this is our neighborhood addresses. So I can see anytime there's price changes and closed properties all in our little saved neighborhood. But to start from scratch, you just click on search. And it's super easy. You put in the address that you're either looking to market around, looking to prospect around, all the different stuff. Like all my different addresses in here are either past sold listings, my neighborhood, my mom's neighborhood, or even looking up specific people. There's a lot of companies like whitepages.com you can utilize to look up information, but you can also look up people and search for people. Like apparently I was looking for Dennis Knutson for some reason, and I can see the different Dennis Knutsons that are in our MLS, whatever they are. So we're going to search for a property. Anyone have a listing?
No, but does it have to be a listing? I have a property that I have to do a CMA on.
Sure, let's look at it.
8724 Loch Lomond Boulevard.
L-O-C-H?
L-O-C-H L-O-M-O-N-D.
L-O-M-D.
D.
All right. Is it N or M?
M.
M as Mary?
Yeah, and it's actually two words, Loch
Oh,
Lomond. Lomond.
there we go. I was like, what am I doing wrong? All right, so what will happen is it will pull up that specific property, and then you'll be able to sort of see some of the information. You'll be able to see if it's on or off market. This sell score, it's a little creepy. I don't know if they ever fixed it, but basically what it takes into account is our internet search history and like way creepier stuff. Like they use artificial intelligence to the max on Remine, and I'm like, that's a little creepy. So when it first came out, real estate agents, all of their houses were labeled as high likelihood of selling. Because what do? We search for houses a lot. And in the AI world, they assume that we're going to be looking to buy and sell real estate. So keep that in mind when you're looking at some of these, because literally if a real estate agent lives in that house, it very well could show up as a high sell score. So that's my one little caveat. There is a CMA option. I have never used the CMA option.
Oh, I'm gonna try it.
I was going to say, go for it. Try it all day long. And then the typical maps that you could utilize, and you'll also be able to see, is it a business that owns it? Is it absentee owner? There's a lot of people that make their business out of targeting absentee owners, i.e. people that are renting out their house are absentee owners. So you can utilize that in two ways. You can target the renters. You can target those actual properties and say to the resident of 8724 Lamond Boulevard, or you can also get the mailing address for that absentee owner and target them to see if it's time for them to cut their investment and switch properties or something. All the usual typical public data that you would expect. It's basically Realist, but in a prettier format. All of the mortgages. There is a valuation, which does show 3 different valuation companies. I would say First America is probably the closest to a valuation that you're going to get. Black Knight is definitely a close second. Redfin's just purely another brokerage that looks at all the properties for sale. So I would definitely not utilize Redfin as your market analysis. There is grading of schools, which is powered by Niche, as some fancy company that literally looks through all the schools and does their magic data analysis. And you could see the demographics of the neighborhood. So you can see, is it a new family neighborhood with 41% have children? How many's in the average household? Is it possible that they could be having more kids and need a bigger house? See their average income and the average age. So probably not empty nesters quite yet, but a lot of younger families. See all the transaction history and mortgage history. And what's really fun is this associated people one. If they have available contact information, it will show up. Oh, hey, more people popped up. It will say who the owner is and anyone affiliated with this.
In that house?
Mm-hmm. So you're probably looking at like, why is there so many people affiliated with this house?
A lot of people live there.
Oh no. Literally, if they've ever received mail there.
Yeah.
And like, when I looked up my house, we've lived there for 4 years. I'm not affiliated with the house, even though I live there and get mail there and like everything and married to the owner. I'm not affiliated with the house. But like 2 people that weren't even the previous owners or the previous renters are in that associated with the house. I'm like, what?
Right.
So while yes, this is a very powerful tool to be able to have access to phone numbers and if there's any email addresses, super powerful information, but keep in mind, it is not totally always accurate. And it's at least a good starting point. There's not a whole lot of companies, even the paid massively expensive ones, that are purely accurate. I know when I had Coal Resources for a little bit, I kept finding out that there was a whole lot wrong.
Yeah.
So always take it with a grain of salt. And
does it have like history information? So if something isn't on MLS right now, you still pull up something from before?
Yep. Now, if you were looking to possibly target that neighborhood, you can go back to the previous page and show on map. And then what will happen is it will show up all the houses around that neighborhood. And then you also have a bunch of different filters that you can sort through. So when I was talking about that absentee owner, one of the filters is corporate, owner occupant, absentee in state, or absentee out of state. So if I wanted to target the absentee owners along the side, and all these little dots will show those absentee owners. And I could go down the list and target either the residents or the owners. If I wanted to add corporate, which apparently doesn't do anything in this area, but that's fine. Oh, it did. There's 10 more. Now, if I wanted to have this area as a saved search, let's zoom out a little bit further. What I could do is making sure there's nothing underneath. You could draw a specific neighborhood to get very granular and look at very specific houses, or just sort of leave the map as is, and you can save the search so that way you can easily go back to it. You can also add specific properties to carts, which that's what I did with my neighborhood. That way I get the updates for it, versus save searches. All it's going to do is pull that search again, where if you put it in your cart, you'll constantly get the updates on that dashboard. Make sense? So like what my save search looks like is absolutely nothing, because I deleted all my save searches that I had running. And then my cart is, so I have my around my mom's house and our property. So I could see when things went on and off the market, how many days they were on. Apparently that one closed but has no days on market. That's cool. And see what prices they sold for. That one, oh, that's Arthur Drive. I'm like, what? There we go. Let's go back to just my development. And as people buy and sell, the information will update as well. And what I use this for is this lovely button that says export or send mailers or print mailing labels. So that way, all of the information, whether it's the owner or the occupant, that will show up. Let me go all the way to the top, select all.
So when you do the search, do you keep it in, because there's the search line and then they have places, people, all that stuff underneath it?
Basically, what are those options? So what Lisa just asked, let's go back to the search. So when you're in the search box, what are you searching? Are you searching for a place? Are you searching for people? So how I search for Dennis Knutson, the PIN number, the property ID number, MLS number, agents, profit share, and offices.
Okay, because I put an address up in the top and I hit search and it doesn't go anywhere. I mean, it doesn't.
What address did you put in?
I just put in where I'm living right now, the apartment complex.
What is it?
6853, 158th.
Is it St. Paul?
Street,
Huh?
158th Street West, Apple Valley.
Is your zip code 55124?
Yeah.
Well, that's weird. It shows up as St. Paul.
Yeah, it's kind of, isn't that weird?
Let's see if the map shows.
So what if the information is wrong on this house?
Like what?
Like our 2 bathrooms, not 1, and there's more square footage than it says.
So all that's pulling is the last sold data. So if they did any sort of updating, the system's not going to know that unless they had a sale or an update of the public data. In case you guys missed the question is what happened, or how is the information, like how many beds or baths is wrong on the property? I see a chat. Oh, apparently Apple Valley usually does show up at St. Paul.
Oh, yeah.
It does, yeah.
That's just weird. Like I understand like Woodbury and like
55124 is always St. Paul.
so weird.
But see, you still got a pinpoint for it. I'm not getting that, so it's like, what am I doing wrong?
Did you, so when you were searching, did you select when it dropped down?
Mm-mm.
No?
It automatically went to places.
Oh,
So I typed in the address,
okay.
6853 158th Street West, Apple Valley.
Maybe because you're adding to Apple Valley.
Oh, so don't put a location.
Usually what I do is just start typing and then let the drop down pop up so I can just select the right one. I'm also a little lazy. I hate typing more than I have to. All right, so back to carts. So when you are doing when you select all of the properties that you want to mail to, you can say who is the recipient. Is it the property owner or the current resident? If it's a high area of absentee owners, I would probably do current resident. Or if you were literally only targeting those absentee owners or the renters, I would do the current resident. And then this is how you can go between, is it mailing it to the house in that area, or are you mailing it to where the mailing address is on file? So for those absentee owners that are not anywhere near the house, you would want to select that mailing address. And then it gives some generic sizes. If you don't have those labels, what I would do is simply click export and export them and then do a mail merge into the right size of label. Apparently Egan in Bloomington also does the same St. Paul. Now is Bloomington St. Paul or Minneapolis? I thought that was always Minneapolis.
Yeah, you're right. It might be Minneapolis too. It was always weird to me because I'm just like, does it like, if you set your buyers up for looking for houses, does it pop those addresses up if it says St. Paul or Minneapolis, even if they're looking in Egan or?
Yeah, well, no, usually what happens is, at least what I've seen on the MLS, when you're searching for like the specific, if you're looking in Egan, you won't see St. Paul houses. You'll see the Egan houses, even if
the address says St. Paul.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know why. I swear, St. Paul and Minneapolis is weird.
All right.
And then some of the other parts in Remine are if you wanted to invite your clients so they could see what you're searching and doing saved searches with. That's usually what that's for. I have never used the invite my clients because I don't want to confuse them more than I already am with the MLS. And any alerts you can set up, or when you have downloads ready, it'll show up and you can download them there. Support has a bunch of training, and that's where you can actually manage. So for like the CMAs, anything that you print for marketing wise, you can update your settings in your profile. And what I'm doing is the bottom left corner for when I'm in the way. Any questions? Be loud. Zoom, any questions?
Can you show us one more time of how you went from, you were looking at a listing to seeing what was in the area?
So for some reason, Remine likes, so Lisa asked to show how you look for the listing to how you can see the whole area. For some reason, anytime you click on the property, it opens up a new tab, which is kind of nice. But all you have to do to go to the area in the neighborhood, instead of clicking on the property details or just clicking on the address, you'll just scroll over here and click on show on map.
Oh, okay.
And the other things you can do in here is, where'd it go? Oh, mortgage age. There we go. You can identify some of the older mortgages. So those possibly are more likely to be willing to sell. Possibly. I mean, brand new mortgage can want to sell too, or has no mortgage, get in the door for empty nesters. You can also see Airbnbs if there's any in the area. And the sell score, you can see some of the, let's see if there's any agents around here. Whoop, too far. Back. Apparently I forgot to hit apply. Silly me. We apparently have 2 that have a high sell score in that area. Again, doesn't mean anything concrete, just means that they're utilizing AI to identify people looking at houses and looking for how to sell a house or how to buy a house or mortgages or pretty much anything that you would expect a potential home buyer or seller to do. You can also see ownership time. I know of an agent who was literally targeting the 20+ year houses over in Stillwater, because literally it's all of the old Stillwater houses, and she wanted to target those people to try to basically reinvigorate the neighborhoods. She got a handful of deals. She did this before it was a paid service or a free service. She was paying for it to be able to see what houses were more than 20 years owned. That's the word I was looking for.
When they had the paid version, it was like there were certain things that for free, there were certain things you couldn't get, like wasn't it like mortgage information, and it wasn't much, but
no, like the only things that you could get during the free was like cart property value, home equity, and I think absentee.
yeah.
But the problem is you couldn't get the contact information. Like if there was phone numbers, you had to pay for that. If there was email address, you had to pay for that. You got the address, which was, I mean, for geofarming, that was totally all you needed. But like if you wanted to call people, you couldn't. And now I think there still are some limitations in the current version that we get through the MLS. Like you only get like so many carts. And so many properties in general in each cart. and you can still pay for a higher thing. I don't remember what, oh. I don't know where the heck although it says we're pro, so maybe they took away all the limits again. My honest guess is they released
Pro
even more.
now?
Huh?
Did you say maybe it's pro?
Well, it is pro because we get that, but I thought there was still some limitations with our pro accounts, but now I'm not seeing them, so maybe there's not anymore.
When I did the little training, she did have to delete some of her.
Did she?
in Her card.
Okay.
To save more to her card.
Yeah, I want to say it's like 150 houses you can save to the cart, and you only get so many cards and
Yeah.
save searches. Because I remember going through and deleting the save searches. I'm like, well, I don't need this search anymore, so see ya. And the 2 carts I have are mine and my mom's house, so. Don't know the exact amount you can do. Because I swear they keep changing it on me. We've only had the pro version since July, June. So
And what makes them, you know, where it says if they're off the market and it says low and it will say medium, those are,
that's just the AI looking through what they're looking at online for the most part. There's some other factors that they utilize, but the majority is, are they searching for houses online? Are they searching for mortgages online? Are they,
okay.
because,
Did they just get divorced? Did they
yeah,
just get,
exactly.
you know, did somebody just pass away? Because they're looking at the county information when something's registered, like any registered
Event.
thing, event, life-changing event, right? Like those
Yeah.
things that would make them sell, those pop up.
Okay. Nice.
Can tell, let me see if they fix the cell radius or cell score. Really? There it is. Let's go see what my cell score is. Oh, hey, they must have fixed it. Or at least recognize that we're agents and probably not looking to sell. Let's see if I got added yet. I haven't looked at our house lately. Nope, still him. He's the owner. Has his parents' landline. Super helpful. And this person who has never lived at our house, or at least hasn't lived in our house in at least 5 years. He wasn't the previous renter. So super fun. But if we wanted to, if he had a contact info, we could reach out to him and cold call him. But we don't have
And is
that.
that just on the bottom of the page then?
Yeah, under associated people.
I like that.
I do too. And as long as you remember that it may or may not be accurate, because things change. Like somehow James doesn't have our real estate line on there. He doesn't have his cell phone on there. Like, has his parents' landline. Really? Some of the stuff I'm just like, where are you pulling this from? And I know like Coal Resource, it wasn't that much better. So at least we have a free version that'll get us. Although I am intrigued of what CMA looks like. So I'm gonna go look at. So that's where you can confirm how many beds and baths that you want to search for in comps. And keep it really basic just to see what it looks like. Not very well.
I don't find anything on mine either.
Wonder what I'd edit criteria. Oh, I wonder if, I know some systems have townhomes as condos for some reason. I don't want open house. Close off the MLS. And pending. Apply. Oh, there we go. You have to actually click a status.
Okay,
Go figure.
we go back there then, do that.
Oop. So then it shows the, well, I mean, it's supposed to show the subject property, but apparently our subject property has a unit that just sold in November. No. Let's see what it looks like. Save and continue. We'll save and continue and see what it looks like. That's where you can upload all of your logos and agent logos and client. So then we see market value. I did not remove the ones that were not in our development, but that's okay. And you can see days on market, estimated value, complete with the demographics that you would have seen within the property, the average valuation estimate for that house. Apparently Redfin doesn't have a valuation for my property. And then all of the comps that got pulled up.
I still have no results.
Really? Well, that's weird. Selected closed and stuff,
Yep,
both on and off MLS?
let's see.
Like I pulled up
Yep,
one of the
still have
address.
no results.
That's weird. What were you saying?
I was saying, I just pulled up one that was in the medium,
Yeah.
and I pulled it up and it's owned by John G. Lewis Revocable Trust.
Okay.
So then I would just have to look up their address or the mailing address then.
Yep.
Okay,
I was gonna say the mailing address should be on the information as well.
yep, I see that off to the side.
Yep.
Because right close to the trust information, it has the address of the location.
Yep.
Okay,
And when you do the print mailing labels, you can select all the mailing addresses if you know there's a bunch that are absentee owned. Because if it is owned or occupied, it'll just be the same address then.
great,
So,
okay.
I even went out to, from quarter mile to half mile, still nothing.
let's go see. What address are you were doing that?
8-7.
Let's go see. So beds, baths, captive basic, closed. Let's go a mile.
So do you don't put anything in there? In the.
For right now, I didn't.
Okay.
But if you were doing real CMA, yes, you would want to limit it a little bit because like for my house, I had a single family on one of my comps and it's a townhome, so. Go back down to search.
Oh, why are you getting that many?
Did you, at the bottom, click search?
Yeah, let's see. Let me see.
Well, that's even weirder.
I have the same as you, 2 and 5, right?
2 to 5, yep.
Okay, I added the square footage and.
Gotcha. How big is the property?
It's 1965.
So I
So
do like 1,500 to 2,600. Yeah, you're still getting some.
All right, let's see. Let me see here.
Just remember to do a range because what's
Did
going.
you do base, like if it has a lower level, did you click basement? No, you didn't do any of that? No garages, no nothing?
Nope.
Single family?
I didn't even do that. I left it.
Well, let me just take that out of there. And then did you do active, pending, closed on MLS and closed off on MLS?
I did just the closed, but it should increase. So then I'll apply.
And now I'm gonna do apply.
And I did single family. I have 50 total, which for a CMA is still a little high. So
74.
okay. So you just had an extra like search parameter than I did. But it turned out nice when you print or can print it. So that was cool. Apparently I can't save it because there's too many. Any other questions? Zoom, any questions? None? Well, let me know if you have any questions. You know where to find me. I'll be around.
Thank you.
Have a great day, guys. Drive safe. I keep staring at the roads. I'm like, ew.
Yeah, you have a drive.
Yeah, don't remind me.
Yeah, where do you live?
Cottage Grove.
Oh, you do?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Hi, guys.